Alright, so cool. It's like this, man. I have a problem. And the problem is that every time I go ahead and drop my own projects, somebody goes ahead, that's like a much bigger deal than I am right now, at least, you know what I mean? And they drop an album, whether that be Travis Scott, whether that be Tyler, the Creator, whether that be Kendrick Lamar right now, you know what I mean? So what we're gonna do in spite of it, you know what I mean? Kendrick, is we're gonna rank his album worst to best. Damn, can you believe it? Boo, hiss. And you know what's even worse about that? We're gonna start off with a 7 out of 10 song. Not even that, a 7.4 out of 10 song. It's a shameful thing, man. Lobster head. So I was like this. At number, I think 12. Anyway, in last place, we got TV Off. This is They Not Like Us Part 2. In a lot of ways, but not like on a spin back to Drake or a spin back on Drake. Just another nod to the West Coast, as it frequently happens over this album, which is great. I don't know what GNX means, but you know, it could be some LA shit that I gotta get in tune with. Or I think it's a car, actually. That's the car that he's posed on. And of course, one of the main factors of it being a Day Not Like Us Part 2 is it's produced by none other than the one and only Mustard. So that went ahead. It was the worst song on the album, unfortunately, I guess. But it's a 7.4. It's not that bad. That 7 means just like it's great. You know what I mean? So let's go up in spite of Kendrick Lamar. I was still mad that he dropped on the same day as us. Because as soon as he see me drop, he was like, hey now. Which is another 7.4 out of 10. And Kendrick being from Compton naturally fits into the style of West Coast beats. It's common for artists in this area to have rapped over the style of YG, G Perico. I keep running back to G Perico. He is a GOAT. Listen to G Perico. If you don't know, you should. And whenever Kendrick raps over these beats, he nails it, man. Even though we're still mad at him. Here it feels like he's reflecting on his LA roots with the I'm from here, but I'm rich now kind of vibe. Then he throws in this Michael Jackson style ad-lib, which is crazy because that means Tyler, the Creator. The Creator, damn, it's like a fucking part of F. Tyler, the Creator, and Kendrick Lamar, both being from LA, gave nod to an LA legend, Michael Jackson. Tyler saying that you can't moonwalk in my truck Taylor's, or he moonwalks over like what he's done in the past. I thought I was dead. Kendrick Lamar also gives a nod to an LA legend and Michael Jackson. Even though Michael Jackson is not actually from LA, he's from Indianapolis. Hang on, Indiana. And unless I've actually missed something, or I'm reaching, it could be that, like, Kendrick is throwing shade at Drake again. With the Michael Jackson ad-libs, of course, Drake refers to himself as, like, the nowadays Michael Jackson. Even though we gotta give that to The Weeknd. Shout out to The Weeknd. But I could be reaching in that fact. I definitely could be reaching in that fact. So we're still mad, but we get a bit higher in the 7.5 out of Dodger Blue. As much as I could pray for Tyler, the Creator, to be on this album, I'm just grateful that we got a Kendrick one, bro. It could have been Kendrick all over. He could have sang Scissors parts. In Dodger Blue's case, the features are confusing because they go like a line each in the sections that they are in. So Roddy Ricch is on the album, but it's hard to tell like where people are coming in, especially on like first listen. It was definitely confusing there. You didn't know. I was like thinking it was Baby Keem at one point, but Baby Keem is actually on this album at all. So yeah, it's confusing, but it does land itself with a 7.5. We go higher, but we're on the same score with a 7.5 again. Because we don't like Kendrick Lamar. We're not liking Kendrick Lamar. They not like us. And it's out of spite that I gave him that 7.5. It's Man on the Garden. And as a music producer / artist who works off the phone, I'm recording on my iPad. I'm going to edit on the phone. I do everything on the phone. I pray that I get a MacBook. But I got to keep the grind on. Grind season. Go listen to Choice of Influence at least. You know, so that's some grind season type shit over there, bro. Link in the description or in comments or whatever you want to find it. But it felt like the producer of this song was playing around with cymatic samples. At least in that first, like the intro. Which I appreciate. As it gave me the humble feeling that I could do it myself, you know what I mean? I'm still mad at Kendrick though. But then the song goes ahead and says, nah, Colin, you could never. Because we got some type of professionally, yet minimalistically produced type cut over here. We got more layers. We got people singing in choirs. You ain't got no motherfucking choir. Your son, Colin. So the production is more laid back, which is a contrast to like everything else before it. You know, there was more like cinematic in the intro, which we will talk about much later in the video. You know what I mean? The one after that, then the one that follows that, it's like a lot of them do have these elements that are just brought in, like tracks that are just brought in, just to create texture. But it does give that more like professionally, like overproduced, maybe like a little bit of Kanye, but not that overproduced. Overproduced in a good way, by the way. It can be in a bad way, but this time it's a good way. This deliberate approach allows him to tell his story in a clear and impactful way. Honestly, with everything that happened in the early part of this year, I thought Kendrick was dead, bro. I thought he was really dead like that, but I guess he's reincarnated. Kendrick incorporates a few samples in the foreign language, tying back to what he would say on the intro, where he's like, "Where you from is not where I'm from. We're indigenous." So I feel like him using these foreign samples definitely a tie into that line specifically, which is the line from Whacked Out Murals. There's also a Tupac sample. Kendrick saying that I'm Tupac reincarnated. And Kendrick strains his voice in anger throughout, but it's not entirely clear what he's mad about. There was a few things that I was able to catch on though, which was like his dad, or his father, like for a better word into leaders into what I'm about to talk about. His father kicked him out when he was like 16 or whatever. And obviously he's like, "This is why I got kicked out the house. This is what happened." And I was mad at the time, but honestly, to get where I am now, I'm kind of glad that it happened in a way, as I've grown to understand the reason in a mature way. Or when he's matured, got older, type shit. Yeah. But also the reason I was saying like our father, bro, is because like it could be, or his father, is because it could be like a double entendre in some lines alluding to the like our father who art in heaven. So basically Kendrick's getting right with God, you know what I mean? Some parts of this album seem like tributes to West Coast legends, such as Snoop Dogg. Having like this back and forth dialogue did remind me of Murder Was the Case. But Kendrick uses like the murder was the case, or I think, in my perspective, Kendrick using the murder was the case back and forth. Obviously with the God's perspective, being able to blend reflection and storytelling with dark cinematic energy. And we still don't like Kendrick, but we're gonna go up a little higher on the rating, 7.7 out of 10 before we get to, I don't even know we're gonna get to waste, to be honest. But we talk about I see you type shit, you know what I mean? Peekaboo. Honestly, it's great that we as fans finally get an album where Kendrick leans heavily into not just his signature style, but also these West Coast rap sounds. If he's seen as a prophet for the culture and the community, it feels essential for him to tap into where he's really from, you know what I mean? Especially with putting the people that he's trying to put on with this album too. Kendrick has a knack for delivering hooks or ideas in a way that can come across as comedic, yet impactful. And he uses elements that reflect the current LA music scene, which I was talking about, while still not into old school West Coast vibes. Not so much G-Funk, which I think could have been a cooler idea, you know what I mean? Put some G-Funk over there. If we got a Kendrick Lamar G-Funk album, I think that would be dope. I definitely do think that would be something, you know what I mean? Like real, like, it ain't no fun type of G-Funk. But the way he balances modern and classic West Coast elements feels purposeful and authentic. Okay, gotta say, Kendrick Lamar is starting to grow on me. I'm starting to become a fan. As we move up to number 8, and we talk about the intro track, Wiped Out Murals. And it's evident that Kendrick isn't trying to repeat anything that he's done before. You know, this isn't Good Kid, Mad City, or To Pimp a Butterfly, or even them. It's just Kendrick going on and saying, fuck everybody. Wiped Out Murals was both cinematic and introspective. It makes sense for Kendrick to be on his fuck everybody type of vibe, because seeing his mural in Compton be vandalized, it probably made him feel some type of way. This sets the tone for the album, hinting that it was probably originally planned for a 2025 release, but dropped early because of everything that was happening this year. And also, you got the arena tours and the Super Bowl coming up very early next year, you know what I mean? So get it deaf now. The production uses specific sounds to evoke a variety of textures and emotions. And no disrespect to Andrew Schultz, you gotta spin back, bro. You gotta say something back. Or defend yourself in some type of way, because goddamn, you know what I mean? That's Kendrick Lamar. Who we don't like. So our Spike that gets an 8 out of 10. And we go higher with another 8 out of 10. GNX. Y'all was really hating on that, and I understand why. We don't like Kendrick Lamar, we don't. You were really hating that. I guess because of the way that it would sound. It's experimental, you know what I mean? I was really rocking with it. One of the many reasons I don't like Kendrick Lamar. When he teased the album which I thought was gonna come next week and not like today. The song that was used in the video didn't end up on the album, and I gotta feel some type of way, you know what I mean? I have to. But let's talk about the real, like, title track. Let's talk about GNX, 8 out of 10. Where GNX feels incredibly experimental, as I was saying, breaking away from the typical sound you'd associate with Kendrick's region. The song starts off trippy and disjointed, but as more elements layer in, it begins to make more sense as it comes together. It's interesting to imagine that if Kendrick had more time with this album, it would probably lean deeper into the West Coast sound, even though we get a lot of that on this anyways. And what we have now still stands out as bold and innovative, showing Kendrick's ability to push boundaries while staying true to his roots. That's what it really was. This is an LA album. There's a lot of some other shit going on, but it is very what he was representing on the pop out, which I didn't watch because I don't like Kendrick Lamar. Alright, so we do go a little higher, go a little bit higher, you know what I mean? We do go a little bit higher, but not all the way to a 10. As we talk about another 8.5 out of 10 with Luther. Kendrick's sampling choices on the album are absolutely wild, and it feels like some of these songs achieve what some of Mr. Morale was trying to aim for. SZA's feature on the chorus is a natural fit given the history on the chemistry. Personally, as someone who loves both R&B and rap, I do, that is facts. I really appreciate when the two genres come together to create something this good. While the song does lose a bit of steam towards the end, the magic is so strong overall, it still leaves a good impression. And you know what? I'm gonna do something for you, man. Just like a little, like, here you go. You won't even care, but I'm gonna show you my favorite Kendrick album up here, man. Right there. That's my favorite Kendrick Lamar album right there. It might be them, though. It might be. I can't even lie. It's either this or them. But either way, let's talk about the Hot Part 6. Y'all like this? Y'all definitely did like this. And it's amazing to see a song I've come to love throughout my journey of listening to R&B be sampled in this, which is Use Your Heart by SWV. It was sampled by the greatest rapper of all time, you know what I mean? That being Kendrick Lamar. My favorite over here, though. Especially on the track that reclaims the Hot Part 6, or like the Hot series. Telling Drake, that what you did over there was not the Hot Part 6, watch this. And what's interesting is that the sample isn't from SWV's original recording. It sounds like it's them now singing it. And Kendrick has a history of using iconic samples in the Hard series, like Marvin Gaye's I Want You on Part 5. It would be fascinating to know what the intent was in sampling Use Your Heart in the way that he did. Alright, so we got the last two where we talk about the one that was teased in the first part of Not Like Us music video. Even though I didn't say that with no verbal Kendrick. The song was teased in the opening of Not Like Us video. I love how strange it feels with its unique sounds laid throughout. Scrabble. Kendrick's delivery of the hook is comical again, but executed in a way that still works perfectly. I've seen the likes of Navi D try and predict that this is going to play out as the next sound of hip-hop, at least for a trend, with the electro beat. With how this one turned out, I would love to see different people's or different artists' perspective on how they would go about making a song like this. So I'm down for that being the trend. But at number 1, we jump from an 8.7 to a 9 out of 10. We talk about Gloria. The final track on the album brings another R&B rap collab from Kendrick and SZA, which feels like SZA in her good days back. Having SZA feature on multiple songs raises the question of whether there's a deeper symbolism behind the pairing, or if it's just two friends creating together. You know what I'm saying? There goes the reaching again. Also long, bro. This track stands out as one of the best on the album. The best on the album, 9 out of 10. Scrabble is very good, though. Like, as crazy as that sentence is, Scrabble is very good. Blending accessibility with artistry. It's likely to be a worldwide radio hit, showcasing the strengths of both artists and the genres they present, or the genres they represent, my fault. SZA delivers incredible vocals, while Kendrick provides introspective verses directed to his wife, adding a personal and emotional layer to the song. That's it. That's what gets you a 9 out of 10. But as a total, oh yeah, by the way, I do like Kendrick Lamar, if you didn't get it. If we rate it on the fact of like the experience throughout like the first listening, I gave it an 8.3 out of 10 at first. Then I went through, like the song totals, I added them up. I gave that an 8 out of 10. So then we add 8.3 plus 8, divide that by 2, we get an 8.2 out of 10. That's what GNX is. So it's not none of this 6 out of 10 you've been talking about. It's an 8 out of 10. Or 8.2 out of 10. If we round that, it's an 8 out of 10, but 8.2. And that's how it's going to go down. That's Colin. That's Kendrick Lamar. That's how. That's. And go listen to Sweet. It's out now. Talk to him, Colin. Sounds in your mind, there's some bands in your head. Trying to get to me, you gotta go for like 2 dust. I ain't counting. Shoulda let the money talk. Never even call him every time I tell her, son. Grab a gun or whip, I'm so cold, I'm bad, stun on him.